Sound. That's my hello guys and welcome to another edition of Autodesk Learning for Revit 2019. So in this topic, let's continue our discussion. So last time we discussed about adding structural walls and footings, right? So this time around, I'm going to teach you how to create compound and vertically compound walls. So as you can see, this is the title of our video. So in this exercise, we are going to create and modify a vertically compound wall with different layers. Okay, so this is actually also part of the examination if you're going to take examination for Revit Architecture Certified Professional. Okay, so let's get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom into this portion here. So I'm going to start by selecting this wall. So I'm going to click this, and then after that, from the properties palette, I'm going to select here edit type to open the type properties. There you go. So there's the type properties. And then what I'm going to do is I'm not going to overwrite this, but I'm going to duplicate it. Okay, so I select duplicate and I'm going to type exterior siding. Okay, so exterior siding, and then I'm going to select here OK. Okay, so there you go. We already created a new type of wall. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to select here edit this one. So what will happen is it will open the edit assembly dialog box. So from here we are going to modify the assembly of the wall that we are trying to create. So if I'm going to select the preview here, you can now see the preview of the wall. Right now you are viewing it on a floor plan view, but you can click that. You can view this wall on the section view. Click. There you go. So there's the section view. And also I want you to notice this portion here. Okay, so this portion here. If the view is set to floor plan, you will notice that these options here are disabled. Okay, so make sure that in order for you to select these options here, make sure the preview is section. All right, so that's why if I change this to section, you will notice it will enable these modify vertical structure options. Anyway, we are not going to work on this right now, but later on we're going to work on this. But right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here the material of this structure one. So I'm going to select that, and then there's the ellipsis button. So I'm going to click that. And then let's say I'm going to change the material of this using the wood. Okay, I'm going to apply a wood material. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to type W O O D. So wood. So let's look for the wood stud layer. Wood stud layer. This one. So I'm going to select this. And then I'm going to select here OK. So this is actually how you apply a material to an object. Okay. So I'm going to select OK. So as you can see, it's now applied here. And then after that, I'm going to change the thickness. So again, I'm going to click this. As you can see, there's the thickness. So I'm going to change that to 140. Okay, so 140. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add another layer for this wall. So I'm going to select the row 1. So this is our row 1. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to select insert. Okay, so I'm going to select insert to add a new layer to the wall type. There you go. So this is now another layer. So as you can see here on the preview, If I click this one, you see it becomes red. So meaning to say this is the layer that we just added. Don't worry about the thickness. We're going to add thickness to that. Okay. So again, going back here. So I'm going to change this. So for the function, instead of structure, I am just going to use here a substrate. Okay. Because usually in wall assembly, you add substrate to the layer of the wall, right? So sometimes you add. So this is how you add and change the function. So these are the functions of the wall that you can use. So I'm going to select your substrate. There you go. Substrate. And then for the material, I'm going to select the ellipsis button again. This time I'm going to select wood again, plywood. Okay, so for example, this is the substrate that I want for my wall assembly, for my compound wall. So I select wood, sheeting, plywood, and then I'm just going to select here. Okay, there you go. And then for the thickness, I'm just going to make this 20, and then I'll just click here. And then you now see the preview. You see, if I click this, it becomes red. So this is the substrate or the layer for the wall that we just added. Okay. Now, I'm going to select again the row 1. I'm going to insert another layer. Click this one. And then this time for the function, I want this to be the finish face of the wall. So I select finish 1. Okay. This is the finish for the exterior side. So as you can see, here is the exterior side. This side here is interior. So this finish function, finish 1, will be on the exterior side of my wall. Okay. And then I'm going to change again the material. Just click that same procedure. And then I'm going to look for exterior finishes, exterior siding. Exterior siding. Okay, so this one, I select this and then I select here OK. And then let us change the thickness. Click this. The thickness is, let's say, 18. Okay, so 18. And then I can click again here so that this one will update. So I'm going to click here. You see, it's now update. So I click this one. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to add 2 more layers. So I'm going to select row 1 and then I'm going to click insert twice. 1, 2. Okay. So after the finish 1, 4, so I'm going to select this one. So this time around, I'm going to make it a membrane layer. Okay. And then for the material, I'm going to select here vapor. Oops, no vapor. How about uh, moisture. Okay, so I use this one. Vapor moisture barriers, vapor retarder. Just click that one and then okay. And then, all right, so when you select membrane layer, the thickness of that is 0. Okay, so no need to add thickness for the membrane layer, so it's just 0. Now for this one, the structure 1 here, so we are going to change this to interior finish 2. Okay, so this one. And then for the material, let's look for the interior material. Interior. So let's look for finishes interior gypsum wall board. This one. All right. So this will be for the interior side of the wall. All right. And then for the thickness, let's change the thickness to 10. Then click again here to update. As you can see, it's now update. So that's my finish to 5 finishes interior gypsum wood wall board. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the finish one. Like what I've said earlier, this will be our exterior side. So I select this and then I'm going to move it up. 1, 2. All right. So that's my finish for the exterior. And then for the substrate, I'm going to click this. All right. I'm going to move up 1, 2. So that's the substrate. And then membrane layer, I'm going to move up. That's my membrane layer. And then for the finish, this is the finish for the interior side. So I'm going to select this and then I'm going to move down like this. All right. So after that, as you can see, we just created now our compound wall. All right. So this is how it looks like in the section view. If you want to see that in the floor plan view, you can select floor plan. Okay. So this is the floor plan view and then this is the section view. Okay. Now, the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to select here OK, and then I select here OK. There you go. Just select here OK to change. All right. So in 3D view, this is how it looks like. This one. Okay. All right. There you go. Okay. So this is the wall that we just created. Now, going back to our ground floor. So this is now our ground floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the wall that we created, this one, and then no. Let's do this. Let us select this wall. All right. Oh, sorry, this one. So let's select the generic 150. Let's select all that wall. Select all instances visible in the entire project, and then we are going to change that to where is the one that we created? Exterior siding, this one. There you go. So in 3D view, this is how it looks like. Okay. Now the next thing that we are going to do is let's check that out on the section view. Section view. There you go. Okay. So this is how it looks like. So let's change this to fine. You see? Let's change this to realistic. So this is how it looks like. Right? Okay, the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to create a copy of a wall type. So after you create a compound wall, we are now going to copy or create a copy of the wall type. Okay, so I'm going to open the main floor, this one. This is the main floor. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to select the wall. Okay, so for this one, the brick on metal stud, I'm going to select your edit type again. And then I'm going to duplicate this. Duplicate. Then we're going to change this one. So exterior, brick and block on metal stud. Alright, so we just copy that one and duplicate, or we just duplicated that exterior brick on metal stud. So this is the name. And then after that, let's go back again to our structure here. So let's click this one. And then this time, just make sure section here is selected so that these options are enabled. So what we are going to do is, I'm going to uh, select the finish one. And then I'm going to select here split region. So I'm going to select this split region. And then I'm going to place my cursor along the left here, which is this one. All right, so I'm going to place my pointer here. I'm going to click. Let me just zoom in. Okay, so I'm going to click here. There you go. All right, so don't worry about the exact location of your pointer. So it's not critical for this one. Just make sure you click it. So once you click it, something like this. So we are going to change here the value later on. So just remember, when you split the region, dimensions are displayed showing the location of the split. So notice that both regions have the same material. You see, it has the same material as the original layer, and the thickness setting for layer 1 is now set to variable. You see this one? Okay, so it's now set to variable thickness, right? This one. So after a layer is split, the thickness is no longer recorded as a fixed value. That's why it becomes variable, right? Now, the next thing that we are going to do is I'm going to select here modify, okay? And then after that, I'm going to place my cursor over the split, which is this one. I'm going to click, right? So when the border between the split regions in layer 1 highlights, you just need to click that one, just like what I did. Okay, so notice that you can click now the temporary dimension here. This one, you can click that and then change to, let's say, 10,000 or 1,050. And then I'm going to press enter. So it will now move like this. Okay, now the next thing that we are going to do is I'm going to select the row 1, and then we are going to insert a new layer here. So I'm going to select click insert, this one. So there you go. So this is the new layer that we just added. And then let's change the function. So let's select here also finish 1 4, and let's change the material. So I click this one, and then let's look for masonry. Masonry concrete masonry unit. Masonry concrete. So where is that? Concrete masonry unit, CMU. It's not here. Let me see again. Let me type concrete. Okay, so let me just use this one. All right, so concrete, and then I just select here. Okay, so notice that the thickness for the function is now set to 0. Okay, so it's now set to 0, so don't worry about that. Okay, so the next thing is I'm going to select the row 1 again, and then I'm going to select here assign layers. So I'm going to select, right? So it's assign layers. So in the preview, I'm going to place my cursor over the layer that you have split. So I'm going to click the lower region to assign the layer to this region. Okay, I'm going to click this. There you go. You see, it now applies the material of my masonry concrete blocks. Okay. All right. Now, the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to add wall sweeps. Okay. So I'm going to select here the sweeps to open the wall sweep dialog box. This is the wall sweep dialog box. And then I'm going to select here add. And then for the profile, I'm going to select M-Seal Precast 125 wide, this one. And then for the material, I'm going to select concrete again, precast. So precast, concrete, this one. Precast, concrete, and then I select here, okay. There you go. And then after that, I'm going to add here distance. So for the distance, 1050, and then base, the exterior is selected from the side, so just make sure it's 0. The offset is 0. Okay, so verify that the flip checkbox is clear. There you go. And then after that, I'm just going to select here apply. Check out this one. So apply, and then I select here okay. You see, it's now added here. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to do is I'm going to select again wall sweep, wall sweep. So I'm going to select here the sweep again. Okay, so I'm going to add, let's click this. And then for this one, let's look for one brick. One brick. And then after that, for the material, let's change this to masonry brick. Okay, so let's look for brick, masonry brick, soldier course. Okay, and then I just select here, okay. There you go. And then for the distance, I'm going to key in here 1,000 minus 1,200. And then from top, so I'm going to place this at the top. So the distance from the top is 1,200 minus 1,200. And then for the offset, minus 75. Okay, and then after that, I just select here OK. And then OK. Where is that? Let's zoom out. That's the one that I'm talking about. Okay. All right. And then let me add again another sweep. So we now have two sweeps added. So this one and then this one. So let's create again another sweep. So I'm going to select the sweep. All right. For the, I'm going to select add. Oops. Let me just delete this one. So I'm going to select row one. I'm going to select add. And then I'm going to change this to 350 wide. And then for the material, I'm going to select precast concrete again. Then for the distance, let's make it 0. And then we want to place it at the top. And then let's just select here, apply, and then OK. And then you move up. Oh no, where is that? Where is that? There you go. So this is the one that we just added. All right. So the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to add reveals. Okay, so after we add 3 sweeps, so let's now add reveals. So add wall reveals. So let's select reveals and then let us select add. And then for the profile, let's look for reveal course 1 brick. And then for the distance, 2,700. And then let's add one more. Distance. Okay, so same procedure. So second reveal, 1 brick. And then distance. This is 3,300. So let's add another one. 1 brick. The distance is 3,900. And all base coming from the base. Okay, so these are the distances from the base. And then for the exterior side. So this is the exterior side. And then let me just select here, apply, and then OK. There you go. See? So these are now the 3 reveals. So what we are going to do next is we are going to place now this new wall. So I'm going to select here OK now after we create this. OK, and let's select OK. There you go. So as you can see, this is now the one that we created. Now for the height here, where's the height? This one. So from the main floor, I'm going to select top of parapet. Okay, and then wall center line. Alright, and then I select here, how about rectangle. So I click this, and then I'm going to click the upper part of the building plan. How about here? So I'm going to click this one, right? And then I'm going to click this point here. Okay, and then I select here modify. And then if you go to the 3D view, this is now how it looks like. All right, so this is now the wall that we just created. Okay, so we have three sweep, one, and then these are the three sweeps. Okay, and then the reveal. So we have the reveals here. Okay, so basically this is how you create a compound and vertically compound walls. So hopefully you learned something from this video. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.